Hi everyone, welcome back to another one. Obviously a bit differently today, not in front of the camera but behind it for a change. Nice weekend of weather and I thought let's go for a quick lap, let's have a look at the course, see what kind of state she's in and any changes that's been made and take you along for the ride. So it's the first garage down, first nice weather we've had really. I mean it's been a couple of nice days but this is the first time it's been warm. So I thought, why not? Let's get out for a lap. Let's go and have a look at the circuit. Get a bit more familiar with the blade. See what changes have been made and take you guys along for the ride. Let's do it. Nothing to report really from the first part of the course. None of the surface has been changed at all really, so what you will notice, you just saw there at Agos, they've changed some of the signage and it's been a little bit controversial, that one, because the new colours, a bit less orange and a bit more red, and people are a little bit worried they look like red flags, but I'm sure they'll be fine. Other thing to notice, and you'll see it as we get a bit further around, is that certain places like McGuinness's, Joey's, Agos, where they put the rider's colours inside the sign. So like you've seen McGuinness's voodoo doll on the back of his helmet, that was on his sign at McGuinness's corner. They've got rid of that now, and I think that's a shame. They should have definitely kept that. Obviously Joey's as well. You see that yellow helmet, the yellow colouring that was on that board at the old Joey sign that's no longer there. Well, I don't think it's there. I know the McGuinness one's definitely changed. Anyway, down to Quarterbridge. What a perfect night. 5:45, so very, very similar sort of time to what the practice night conditions will be like. Although first practice obviously is the bank holiday Monday. So first bit of new road really is up at Braddon Bridge. So let's get up there and have a look at it. And from here you can see we've got new tarmac in and they made a beautiful job of it. It's going to be so confidence inspiring through here. And you always notice with this new tarmac is how quickly it picks up the rubber of the tyres, so you have a good night of practice and when you come through it, once the road's open, there's black lines everywhere. Like it really takes the rubber off the tyre and holds it. And if you don't have any rain following that, it just rubbers in and gets grippier and grippier as the week goes on. Like last year was a prime example through Tower Bends. People talk about the exhaust notes on the bikes and you can probably tell how quiet it is, but the exhaust doesn't actually open until it's about 55 miles an hour if you listen to it. It opens there. So when you hear the bikes coming past, God, they sound so loud, there's no way they're a standing car. They are standing, it's just the valve doesn't open until you're over a certain speed. See, now it's closed again, so once you get down to sort of road speed levels, it's really quiet, to be fair. It's a quiet bike. But down through here, when you come out of Ballagary and you take a good line and you carry the speed, and then you go downhill here and it's like you've got a turbo on the bike. It's absolutely singing. You can't imagine how much of a corner this is when you're going fast. Obviously at road speeds 31 miles an hour it's nothing, but if you imagine it at 160 and more for obviously the top TT boys. There's a really good shot coming out of there where they just show it going away, and the impression of speed is so big. It's a bit like when you see them exiting Gorse Lake, there's shots of that and the impression of speed coming out of there is massive. But the Birchall's coming out of there on that sidecar and it's just absolutely flat stick. Crosby Pub always got a big crowd in, especially on a nice night. Quite a few people in tonight even. But even saying that, you know, the Isle of Man's deathly quiet as it is for the majority of the year. And you'll get to like 2 days before practice and you're like, where is everybody? And then almost overnight it just seems like everyone turns up. And I was surprised last year, first night of practice, rolled off down Bray Hill and rammed all the way down the left hand side. Once you get to these sort of areas you'll see it thin out, because they're places where people only tend to really fill up towards the end of practice week and into race week. The traffic out tonight, so we're not going to be breaking any lap records. Such great section through here. I've actually crashed through here. I did mention it on a video a couple of videos ago, because talking about Lee's crash that I attended here, and I came in here first night of practice, went left like that, turned the bike right, and the whole back came round on me and just flipped me over the side, and I sort of skidded down the road on the bike and glanced direct to Selly on the left, then ended up just going down the middle of the road and watching the rest of the session at the drive to the castle there. Had an oil leak. I'm not boy with the details, but there's one bolt which holds the front of one of the oil pipes into the front of the engine near the sump, and they're known to just give up, and this one did. It doesn't even matter if it's lock wired, which it was. It basically fractures, comes out, and then when you hit the brakes the first time it just dumps all the oil into the sump, and next time you accelerate it pours it all over your back tyre. But imagine that could have been so much worse if that had happened at Ballagary, or even like the corner approaching Creeper Castle, the fast left before it. You know, that could have been so much worse. So anyway, it's a story for another day. See back there too, get all the rector cells pretty much up now, most of the lamppost cushioning and things like that's up, the big bales there for the marshals, most of the stuff's in place now. Most of the bridges, the temporary bridges they put up for the summer, St Ninians and places like that, they're up. A lot of the stuff at the grandstand's gone up. The Manx Rally was on this weekend, so that was being used as like their paddock, so it was busy up there this weekend. Gorsley, another absolute classic. You always feel like you're too close to people over here. You feel like someone's going to grab your shoulder, but you've got to give yourself that room to get to the corner. But it's not an early apex, the apex is there now, you see, so you don't want to get in too early. And these boards always make it feel narrower. You always feel closer to them, even though they're sort of safer to, if you're going to brush anything, you want to brush those rather than a tree. But when the trees are there, it feels like you've got more room. It's really strange, it plays with your mind. So just approaching Ballacrane now, and this is where I'd have my first stop. I tend to spend most of my sessions practice week at Ballacrane. So I actually start at the grandstand, and then we'll get the road closure. Once pretty much everything's in place, then I'll get the shout to move out to Ballacrane and just ride out here at like 60, 70, 80 miles an hour, just checking everything's in place where it should be and just making sure the road's in condition ready to start the session. We've had a bit of work done though between here and Glen Helen, so let's go and have a look. Horse. Slow down for the horses. In the old days you used to have so many people used to sit on the left here. It's all restricted now. What an amazing spot. I remember sitting here a couple of times, or trying to. If you didn't get here early, you had no chance, but amazing spot. There's some iconic shots of riders coming through there with all that absolutely full of people. That's a great spot, that. Don't necessarily agree with everything that they've restricted, but some of them were necessary. But I don't know if that was. But it's sometimes just down to do with the landowners and things as well. Right, those cars are out of the way, so let's have a look. There's a new patch here, which is actually offline, so you'll use maybe a little bit there on the inside. But I tend to just stay on the left-hand side of the road all the way through here. Anyway, if you drift over that side, it feels like the camber really drops away and suck you out, and it makes this way more of a corner then. Done some work at Laurel Bank. Let's just see whereabouts it is exactly. So just a patch there really. I thought they'd done more than that, but that's not going to really make much difference. Glen Helen corner itself was really quite bad. I noticed that was breaking up quite badly, so interested to have a look at that. They're definitely taking some trees back, as you can see on the left, and it makes it feel way more open. I like that. It doesn't feel as enclosed. It doesn't feel like it holds the damp, which it sometimes can down here, just because the sun can't get through the trees. So we've not seen any rain for over a week now, so I don't think we've seen any damp patches. Again, the Recticel, so let's have a look at the new tarmac through here. So it's mainly on the right hand side. So the apex is still the same, and then a load of new tarmac on the exit. That's good. That'll be grippy. That'll rubber out nice. And on the apex of Sarah's, brilliant. I have been through in the car, I just haven't really taken that much notice of it because I just haven't had my sort of TM head on. Yeah, that's going to be really nice to Sarah's. Just thinking about Dom as we come through here from his crash last year. Seen that video from a couple of videos ago, just over here on the right when we were picking him up. See how free it feels up here though, open and light. Hell of a corner when you go at race speed, and then sort of stand up on the pegs and it just puts the wheelie off here. New tarmac there though. And some traffic lights there. It looks like they just put some patches in on the right too. The 11th is super smooth now, has been for a couple of years. Look how nice it is through here. Dreams ride when there's no one out. I can't believe there's no cars. Brake marker buds there, that's new. I hate 13th. Don't know why, it's just in your head, isn't it? Just don't like it. Well, my newcomer year is the Manx Grand Prix. Wayne Hamilton won the newcomers race. He was the star of the future Wayne, and then he died at the 13th in the junior. It was a wet race, and yeah, he came off there. So I always think about him when we go through there. Always a lot of people here again, especially on a practice night and a race day. It's ideal, isn't it? We get a pint, sit out and watch the bikes come past. Crazy, isn't it, when you think you come through here at the speeds we do. But what's funny about it is Kirkmichael always feels so narrow, because normally you come through here like this and there's cars parked everywhere and there's normally people trying to squeeze through, and the place feels really narrow because of it. So when all the vehicles disappear, all of a sudden it feels open. It does if you're local, I think it does. Like if all you do is race around here and you're only used to seeing it when it's closed, really, you probably don't notice it as much. But for me, once the road closes and all the cars are off it, the road looks really wide compared to how you normally see it, and so I don't have that impression of Kirkmichael being that narrow, to be honest. Although the end here is when you're trying to thread it through here, yellow line to yellow line, they can feel real narrow. Another popular spot, marquees up ready by the look of it. Used to be able to sit on the hedge here though, and you have to stand behind it now or go in the grandstand, which is a little bit of a shame, because you used to basically sit at like road level, and which obviously it's dangerous, isn't it, but it was amazing. It's the same at Alpine. We used to do that at Alpine. That was so good through there. A friend of mine who's a photographer just lives in the village actually, and we used to come here for TT, and see where this monster sign is here on the left, right there on that hedge. It says private property. Well, you know the guy who owns it, and we used to sit on that hedge, and there's the wheelied off there and come straight at you. That was a great little spot. One of those little secret spots you sort of need permission for. I always find this a strange corner with the double white lines. They always feel really pronounced, and when the bike got a bit of angle on the bike and it rolls over them, it always feels like it unsettles the bike there. There's actually a good shot where they're filming from here looking back at Dean Harrison coming through there, and you can see the whole back end is just trying to step out all the way through it, and he's just got it on the stop, just letting it slide. Raoul's spot from last year, really sad that one, as they all are. Alpine here, it used to be, like I said, it used to be so many crashes, but there used to be a lot of accidents there. Alpine itself The surface used to be really shiny, and if it was marginally damp, it was really slippy. And I can remember accidents happen there. The new surface they put down is really abrasive, and that really helps. Rector cells up, we're all looking good. Another popular spot, spectators all lining the hedge on the left here all the way down. And another spot you'll find a travel marshal is here, just here on the left. Tricky little corner, the Ginger. It always feels like this fence is trying to grab your shoulder. And then, as everyone tells you about how bumpy the track is now, the road is now, all the way to Ramsey. And it is. There's no getting away from it. This was resurfaced through here. Going into Carrowmore here used to be really bad, so they've taken the worst of that out, which has made a complete difference. The rest of it really you've just got to put up with. Obviously through this left, and always making sure you get the bike straight before you go over here, because there's a jump there when you're doing race speeds. Approaching the K tree, always another popular spot. An amazing picture of Johnny Head coming through here last year, I'll pop that up. Actually a couple of pictures of him, one from one side, one from the other. Probably the most stylish out of all of us, Johnny, when it comes to getting the photos. Pretty much the lower section of the course looked at, and there's not too much change, to be honest. Not too much change at all. There's always roadworks done pretty much every year on the mountain, because it sees the worst of the weather, obviously, and just needs more maintenance than the rest of the course, typically. May Hill was resurfaced, because probably, might be 5 years ago now, and it's made a huge difference up through here. And then before TT last year, they redid from White Gates up through Stella Maris. It's lovely through here now. This has always been quite nice here, and then once you got through White Gates, it was really rough, and you used to have, the road used to camber down into the ditch on the left here. So if you got, obviously you want to give yourself as much room on the left as you approach Stella Maris corner itself, but if you went too close to the curb, it really dropped you into almost like a small ditch. It was awful. This is one of the best corners on the course now. You've got positive camber, you've got an amazing road surface. So confidence inspiring. Up to the hairpin. Not going to win a race here, but you can lose one. Beautiful view of Ramsey. If you come over for TT, this is all still speed restricted with cones, but during normal times this is actually restricted. So let's have a look at which bits they've changed up here. This was surfaced last year. Always a popular spot. There'll be one of us there this year. I think they did some patching up to get out of mileage, so I'm happy with that. here. Hasn't needed much work at all. No point trying to pass anything now. Notice too many changes on the mountain there itself. As you're going a bit quicker over the mountain, there's a few bits, basically patches they've put in. There's no massive pieces of new tarmac that they've put in anywhere that's going to make a huge difference. This feels really narrow at race speeds. You come in and the hedges get high and they come in on you. This feels like a really narrow little part of the road to try and squeeze through, and it's obviously really fast. Hillbury's always a busy one, and again it's a bit like Gorsley where you're so close over to the left, give yourself the room for the corner, and it feels like people are going to stick their arm out and grab you. You'll see some pictures through there of Michael's always good for it, getting really, really close to the white line to give himself as much room as possible. This is like the longest corner in the world, because I consider this all one corner really, one massive long left, and you go in, you pick it up a bit, you go in, you pick it up. It seems to take forever to get around it. And then braking for signposts when you can't even see the corner yet. Bedstead corner. Had one of the worst days of my life at this corner. Those of you who know. Those of you who don't, I'll definitely tell that in a story one day. I don't think about it when I'm riding around, really don't. It's only when I like drive past it at these sort of speeds you have time to think. Yeah, it was a bad day. The road's all in good order here. I've run out of fuel here once. Had to push the bike all the way to the pits. And like, you don't realise this is quite uphill. It definitely is when you're pushing it, I'm telling you, especially coming out of the dip. And pushed it all the way to the fuel stop, and I was absolutely knackered. You imagine pushing the bike up here, full leathers, all the gear, uphill, and you've just done 2 laps. And then I did my pit stop, and obviously the race is gone. I literally lost minutes getting to the pits. So I had probably the longest pit stop in the world, as I just said, right, I'm just going to wait here for a minute while I get my breath back before we go again. I won't be the last person to run out of fuel though on a lap at TT course. There's the grandstand in the evening sun. 2 weeks and we'll be flying down here. Well, 2 weeks tomorrow. Hospitality tent starting to go up. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much a lap of how the course is looking with 2 weeks to go until first practice for TT24. So a bit of a different video for you guys today. Just thought it'd be interesting to have a look at the course and see what everyone thinks. And I'll sign off there and see you in the next one.